Good morning to you, Grenada, Carriacou, PD, Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean. Those of you joining us now on the World Wide Web, we're coming to you live on www.gbn.gd, also on Facebook and on YouTube. It is Monday, the 4th day of April 2022. I'm Janell filling in for Joseph this morning. Joseph, you'd see later on Beyond the Headlines. It is open line to the point. All your thoughts, all your questions you want answered, you can pose them here this morning, and hopefully the right people are listening. What's going on in your neck of the woods? We want to hear from you. This is your time to talk. Grenada, 435-2041. We'll always get you on the inside. You can also contribute on our WhatsApp number, very same number, 435-2041. But I know it's a very exciting day for lots of you. If you're like me and you've been waiting for the mask mandates to be removed, that day is finally upon us. The choice is now yours to decide if you're going to be wearing a mask or not. It's a big day for Grenada. It's a big day tourism-wise as well. If you're traveling to Grenada, there is no more COVID testing required, no vaccine mandates required, no health declaration forms required, no quarantine required. And I know that was a huge challenge for some of you, having to find that extra dollars, to pay for quarantine and so before you get in, if you're not vaccinated especially. So all those mandates have been lifted as of today. So like I say, exciting time for tourism, exciting time for Grenada and Grenadians looking to come back home. Later on this week, we have Intercourt. Folks, there's a lot going on. This weekend, we had our very own Jefferson Ramirez starring in New York. Huge basketball game. But let's go to the lines to see who we have with us this morning. Good morning. Welcome. It's To The Point Open Line.
Good morning, Virginia. I trust you'd have had a good weekend.
I did. The beach was involved.
God bless you. Nice hairstyle.
Thank you.
Welcome to The Point.
Thank you.
Janell, it is my understanding that a vessel went down over the weekend and a couple of lives may have been lost. My condolences to the family. And to those who survive, I wish them a speedy recovery. And we are into the election season. And while it is good to help those less fortunate and those that are in need, as politicians and the people that are working on the front line, let us be mindful of these people and the families that we are helping. I was approached by a gentleman who said to me, he asked for a few cents, and I said, but it's Montana, no, you're not getting the money. And he said, no. He said, you know what they did to me? I said, no. He said he was passing by the park, and a young lady offered him some food, and he's here to cut and stuff. And he said at the end of the week, somebody was telling him that his photo is on Facebook together with those vagrants. He said, I'm not a vagrant, and he was hurt about it. So please, let us be mindful of people's feelings when you do things to help them. I mean, it's not okay all the time to put them on Facebook parading like that. They too have feelings, and they sometimes get hurt over these things. We appreciate the help, but, do it in a nice way. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you, caller. Fantastic point. Thank you for reminding us. There was an unfortunate incident on the weekend. I'll just read you the release from the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard regarding that incident. The release was dated the 3rd of April, and it said on Saturday, 2nd April at approximately 3:40 p.m., the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard received a report of an overturned vessel with 7 persons on board in the position 5 nautical miles north of Monos Islands. The vessel named Fairchance, which is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines, encountered rough north coast seas and subsequently overturned due to a shift of cargo on board. 2 of the 7 persons on board were rescued by a passing vessel and were handed over to TTCG and taken to Stobbles Bay, where they were medically examined. Searches on so the TTCG, that's the Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard, they have subsequently deployed assets that are currently involved in a rescue operation with the vessel. So I know people are thinking those folks might have succumbed by now, but I'm still hopeful. I'm a very positive person, and I'm hoping that we have some great news and maybe we hear of some miraculous rescues, and we're praying for the 5 people who are still, as far as I know, unaccounted for. Really hoping that we hear of some miraculous rescue and we can say they are safely reunited with their families. As of now, search continues and we still don't know how that unfortunate incident played out. That caller also raised a valid point about giving, and I always say if you're genuinely giving, nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. Let's go to the lines. Good morning. Welcome to The Point.
Hi, good morning, sister. How are you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm blessed. I greet you had a good weekend.
I did. Listen, once the beach is involved, I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. Tell me.
Well, yeah, I want to speak a little today. We have about 100,000 people on this island. I think we should qualify for at least one specialist, especially in the eye. Sister, it's so sad when we on this little island and we don't even have one specialist. I'm talking about a doctor that, could just, look in the front of the eyes. We need a specialist when we're talking. There is this young man. He didn't go and rob. He didn't go on the block. What happened? He go to make a little day walk. And disaster strikes. He get a lash in his eyes. He tell me that the doctors, they try everything. But right now, he need an eye specialist, and they refer him to Trinidad or Barbados. I know it's very costly, but if you love your people, no cost. It's too much to invest in your people. But at least I calling on the government of the day to at least have one specialist could come at least once a month that could take care of the back of the eyes. This young man might be, he wouldn't be here alone to need a specialist. He might have more. But at least if you have a doctor coming in once a month, you could see many of us in this country. Look at our government put out over 1,000 young people last week. And that's very good. What about if something like that happened to one of them? They will have to wait to have a DJ and a truck going on to beg for donation to help to pick up the cost to take care of their eyes. Come on, Grenadian, let us call on our government for the best. You hear we boasting 15 seats again. You hear we boasting we're getting salary and time. But there is a lot of things in this country that our government should do for us. So I'm pleading to them this morning. Have a specialist at least once a month to take care of our young people, our old people. They need to have a specialist on this island. We qualify for the amount of people who are there in this land.
Caller, you think maybe we have the specialists and we probably don't have the equipment that is needed? Because I know we do have eye specialists here in Grenada.
Well, if the doctor refer him to Barbados or Trinidad, obviously we don't have one here.
Yeah, maybe the procedure that is required, we can't do it here, but I know we have very qualified specialists here in Grenada.
Well, I hope and pray that they could establish it,
Yeah.
Because most time people go to the eye specialist and then they're telling them they're referring them to Trinidad and other islands. So if they have specialists, or they don't have the type that this patient needs, try and get one.
Okay. Thank you for the contribution. Have a good one. Folks, the number to get you on the inside, 435-2041. But before we go back to the phone lines, we have some information here for you from Bryden and Miners. They're advising that their main office distribution division, located at the Kirani James Boulevard, will be closed at 11:30 today. So please take note. Bryden and Miners main office distribution division on Kirani James Boulevard, it will be closed at 11:30 today. So if you have to do any business, you probably need to head over right about now. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning, To The Point. Welcome.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Well, thank you.
Awesome. Make your contribution.
To the point?
You live on To The Point.
Yes. My contribution is I have a grievance, and I've had that grievance for a very long time. Taking away this nursing school from Janell and placing it at SGU. Not everybody could pay to go to SGU to get a degree. No, I have no problem in people going to get a degree. But what I am concerned about, what about the poor people who want to go into nursing, but there is not a nursing school? I don't know for what reason the Ministry of Health and government closed down the nursing school, where we have been producing great nurses who will go abroad to work, and they are almost as good as the doctors in that country. So I would wish greatly that the Ministry of Health and government rethink their thoughts and bring back the School of Nursing to Janell Hospital, please. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, caller. Well, I'm not too sure why. I understand that the qualification you received from the SGU would have been at a higher level than what you would have gotten from the nursing school. But again, I can't speak to the process for application and to fees and so. If it is preventing people with interest from getting in the profession, then it is certainly something we need to look at. Folks, 435-2041 will get you in on the inside. It is To The Point. It is an open line. I have a note here from someone telling me a Tesla was in an accident on the weekend, and I'm asking him what is the significance of a Tesla, and he said we only have 2 in Grenada, so I'm guessing it may be a big deal. I don't know. He says the parts are ridiculously expensive. Again, I don't know. To me, a vehicle is a vehicle. I'm not too familiar with the brands, but let's see who we have on the line. Good morning. Welcome to The Point.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, the lady concerning the nursing school, she have a point. But the point is, as journalists, all you need to do the investigation.
Okay, so I'm not a journalist, but I'm sure that the news people would listen to you.
Yeah, but we need to inform the people, because she make a point. The problem is, TA Marisho Community College certification is much more higher than the certification coming out of SU, and is much more recognized. So the issue is, if they could team up together at TA Marisho Community College, move wherever it is from there down there, okay, it is giving them mileage. But the ending up of the day, our nurses are suffering. Because as she said, the quality of nurses we produce. Do you know the midwife that working with the Queen of England is a Grenadian? One is a Trinidadian. The two main person working with the Queen. This is the type of persons we have been producing over the years. And this is the issue. Everything what we have is being given away by other foreign entity. And the end up of the day, our people out here are crying out. You understand? And that is the issue we're facing right now. Look what was going on with that war. Look how much food we had here 25, 30 years ago. Look at us today. What's the price? Flour gone up, everything gone up. And still we only pushing the supermarket and cutting back down on the local foods. Up to this morning, somebody saying it's expensive for buying local food and things. Yes, because we have to import the seed. Where the seed bank? We had all this thing in Grenada. We had factories doing things. We even had, I think France, after the hurricane, gave us something like $2 million or something to start to plant back the banana estate, and then they would have tissue bananas, and then they would have take it instead of taking back the million. They would have taken back the produce. Today, where is the estate? What happened with that $2 million? Where it disappeared? And this is the type of things we're facing right now. And people crying out here looking for leadership. You understand? But on the media part, we need to do this kind of investigation. So when people call us, you could give them the right information. You understand? It all have to do. Don't look at TMRSO Community College. The standards are good. It's just a little more support, finances, clean up the place and bring it up. But the standards are pretty good. But somebody else wants it. So therefore, we have to pay the price for it. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. It is to the point. It's just about 20 minutes gone past 9 o'clock. It's an open line session. Let's go back to the phone lines. To the point. Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Ms. McDonald.
Good morning.
I have a couple of observations here I'd like to make.
Sure, go ahead.
The first is, I hear the previous callers and I hear the plight. It tells you something. It tells you that nothing in this here country today functions as it ought to be. And that is rather unfortunate. I want to speak about a bit of news I heard this morning, which sounds good today being the 4th of April, when it is said that all restrictions that were placed on biosanitary regulations, let's call it, some people call it protocols and whatnot. I'm happy to hear that because seemingly we have been relieved of that plague as it used to be. But I want to call on the so-called authorities of this country, the rulers of this country, who rules us in the name of Elizabeth Regina II, to justify to the people of this here country, its residents, its citizens, its subjects, why there is still a state of emergency in place. Tell us what justifies the state of emergency, or immediately remove it. Because it is an abuse and a usurpation of authority. I hope my message is clear. The final thing I want to talk about, Ms. McDonald. I make no bones about this. We all in this here country suffer with some illness, some ailment. I suffer with a respiratory problem, which is an extremely strange one. Some people can't smell, but I smell more than anything else. A hypersensitivity in my olfactory system. Smoke affects me above all. Perfumes, diesel fumes, gasoline fumes, cigarette smoke. Worse yet when people burn plastics and other things, and coal pit, as we know it in Grenada in the middle of the night. I've been suffering for the past 8 weeks here, for this year, 8 weeks so far, where people burn deliberately, and I know it now, deliberately and aided and abetted. Listen, underline what I'm saying here. Aided and abetted by the St. David police. I have evidence to prove because they talk on themselves, They don't know the place is a small one. And you know what the police tell me? When they come 3 hours after you make a call to tell, look, the whole house is invaded with smoke. And I had to put on an anti-gas mask to be able to respire comfortably. You know what the police tells me? He said to me, you're blind or you know you have fire. The police. He was so, I didn't get a chance to record him. Then I hear the vehicle start up and go. And then when you call the Central Police Station, they tell you that the St. David police say that you're always crying wolf about smoke and nobody ain't burning nothing about the place, Ms. McDonald. I'll end by saying this. Grenadians understand we have to struggle to stop burning in Grenada. We heard Dr. Ford recently on a program hosted by Godfrey Augustine give an outline of the importance of maintaining the environment that we live in. And the air is a major component of the environment. listen again to the program and get to know how many people in the world die annually from air pollution. We are killing ourselves. We are killing. I'm calling on the administration, the government, the so-called government of this here country, this colonial monarchy that rules us and disrespects us as the people, to revoke that law that gives the Ministry of Agriculture authority to let people burn and to have the police, if there is a law existent, uphold the law. It is time that we start rectifying the behavior of our people in this here country so that we all can live comfortably, in this land that belongs to us all. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Citizen Rolo, before you leave though, it's unfortunate the response you got from the police.
Yeah.
But I know there are some guidelines to burning and lighting fires. One is
they pay no heed. I'm telling you.
But one, you need to notify your neighbors. I know that is a law. If you're going to be burning, you have to notify your immediate neighbors.
I'm telling you that they don't. Sister, they don't care. As a matter of fact, you want me to tell you this? You're inviting me to talk. Larry Smokey beep out.
Oh.
What the beepy thing Grenada belong to he? He making us a noise on radio. Larry Smokey beep out. That's what they say.
Well,
I'm not telling you.
Sorry.
I ain't telling you. Well, they tell me yes, but they talk on themselves.
Okay.
This is what's happening in this here country, sister.
Got you.
Have a nice day, will you?
Take care. Yes, folks. He made a very valid point, and Dr. Ford did highlight, the environmental conditions and the link, of course, to mental health, which was new for me. I didn't even know that certain scents and smoke and so can cause you mental problems. But let's go back to the lines. Good morning to the Point Open line.
Hi, good morning to you, Blossom, and to your followers.
Not Blossom, it's Janell.
Oh, Janell. Oh, how could I make that mistake, my
That's
dear
all right. That's all right. Tell us.
Well, you know that I know you well, and I know I can distinguish between you and Blossom. Quickly. Now, this morning, on an earlier segment of the program, there was talk about the rising cost of living, and especially agricultural products and other things like that. And these prices are going to, the price hikes are going to come. But in many cases, they're not even here yet. But people are hiking. And the problem with us in Grenada is small farmers, and so we don't understand arithmetic very well and proportion. Let me give you an example. I had someone doing some landscaping for me, just mowing a ground, very small area. And after the second month, when the price of gas changed from 15 something to $17 by $1 and some cents, this person told me he had to increase his fees from $60 to $80, $20 more. Gas went up by $1 and cents per gallon, and that area doesn't require a gallon of gas to cut it. Right? It's because I grow my own grass. I cut my own grass myself. I mow my own grass, and I know how much fuel it takes. Now he is changing his price from 60 to 80. And I said, do you know that's at a 30% increase? He said, no, that's just $20. I said, yeah, but that's $20 or over $60. So you see this kind of ridiculous thing that happens? The price of gas gone up by $1 and cents per gallon. The tax doesn't take a gallon of gas, but you change your price by $20. And that's the reason why people do not want to buy local products. I know our costs are high, but many times they are artificially high because our people, all kinds of workers, handymen and everywhere, they don't understand arithmetic. They don't know that when you go from 60 to 80, you have increased by 30%. And the actual price of gas may have gone up by 15% or 5%. So everybody just hiking, and they're hiking themselves out of business and out of the market. So please, Grenadians, try to do a little bit of mathematics. Ask somebody, if I change my price from this to that, what kind of percentage am I changing it by? But if you were paying me $600 and suddenly you're paying me $800, that's $200. The same percentage. But we don't understand percentages here. And let's help our young farmers and entrepreneurs to understand that so that they do not do the dotishness that's going on around, the ridiculous things, and they call them price hike, even before it is justified. Have yourself a wonderful day. I hope you help somebody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the contribution. You'd always find that people would take advantage once they think there is an opportunity to do so. Let's go back to the lines. Good morning. To the point, welcome.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you. Tell us.
I want to raise a point concerning people's area of their constitutional rights in their privacy. Just a little area of Mr. Rollo, what he just called and talk about. You know, people don't have no respect for people's privacy and the constitutional rights in it. They go beyond the abiding rules of the laws and they do their own thing. And when you talk and you stand for your constitutional rights, many people decide to give you back chat on it and do their own thing. No, this is a fact Mr. Rollo talk about. They don't have no respect for people's rights, constitutional rights, and they need to do so. Thank you.
Thank you, caller, for that contribution. So very valid. We always figure we could, tell people, especially people who may have some disability or so, we always figure we could take advantage, and it's just unfortunate. Ooh, caller, you have a device that is...
Hey, man.
Morning.
Josine.
Not Josanne, Janell.
Janell.
But load down your television or radio for us. We're getting some feedback.
Un momento, por favor.
Sure. Folks, remember when you're calling in, just turn down your television or radio, whatever device you're listening to us on, because we do get some feedback that can be distracting to our listeners and to our viewers. So let's just give him a minute to get himself sorted. While we wait on him, just be reminded that Bryden & Minor's main office, distribution division, they will be closed at 11:30 today. Please take note if you have to go to Bryden & Minor's distribution division, probably to get some supplies for your business, your shop. They will be closed at 11:30, so you need to head over there right now if you want to catch them open. Today it's just about 9:32. Caller, you ready for us? Like that radio outside?
Yes, Janelle.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Tell us.
But I'm just listening. You see, because I don't understand what is happening in Grenada. Grenadians have so many ideas, So how come it... Oh, Jesus Christ. Man, look. All right. Okay, Joseph. Oh, Jamel.
You want to gather the thoughts and call us back? You want to gather your thoughts and call us back? It seems the word is losing you this morning, and I know you're a man of many words.
Yeah, because I'm just losing my rockers.
Okay, so take 2 minutes, gather your thoughts and call us back.
Yeah.
All right. 435-2041 will get you on the inside. We have a contributor on WhatsApp who is calling on the Commissioner of Police to give people their peace. He grants permission for block parties in residential areas, and 3 p.m. shops are open with music. Then Sunday evening, permission for block party without loud music, obscene language, and fighting till after midnight. They're calling on the commissioner to do his job. The law is for all. Folks, when you get the permission to have your little events, please don't abuse it, especially if you are in residential areas. Let's go back to the lines. To the point, good morning.
Good morning, Sudad.
Morning. How are you?
Not too bad.
Okay, make your contribution.
With people who always come down on small people. This caller saying about small farmers don't know the mathematics. So lime and grain, like and all them big companies, they know the maths. All of them putting up on the prices just as soon as they say Ukraine war. He ain't come and talk about the no maths, but because he feel we are small farmers, put up either saying that some people not doing it the wrong thing, but you can't come and tell about people about know the maths. He out of order. They have to understand that the government need to put things in place to control what some people doing. But they're not doing it, but they come now and choose one set of people to give the pressure. This morning I heard people calling about a man say a woman selling pear for $10. Don't buy it. It's we the consumers that causing the problem. If somebody selling a pear, you could find nutrition from something else. You don't have to buy the pear. I find that really ridiculous to come in and crack down on small farmers and say they don't know the maths. Thank you, Miss Lady.
Thank you for your contribution. And folks, I know we probably take different views on it from time to time, but the callers are making, and even those of you contributing on social media, I'm seeing the points. Yes, we're seeing some ridiculous price increases, and I really don't believe all are related to the war. Some people are just taking advantage of a situation, and at the end of the day, the power lie with us as consumers to buy or to not buy. I know some items are essential, but at the end of the day, it's up to us to buy or to not buy and subject ourselves to some of the high, ridiculous prices that we are seeing. We have a caller with us. Good morning. To the point.
Yes. May again, Janell. Janell, I think Vladimir Putin is wrong. Okay? He's wrong. It can be more wrong than that. What he's doing there, he's wrong, okay?
Okay. Thank you for that contribution, folks. We need to take a quick break, but we come back, we entertain some more of your calls and your contributions, whether it is via phone or via social media. We take a quick break. It is To the Point. It is an open line. Stay with us.
Join GBN on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. for Interesting Grenadians, a program that showcases the lives of interesting and outstanding Grenadians at home and abroad. It's Interesting Grenadians every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on GBN. Don't you miss it.
You know, one day I woke up and, you know, they painted a set of pedestrian crossing all along the streets. You know, nobody told us how to use that thing properly.
I know how.
You're serious?
Every safe, good driver knows about these things. As a driver, you have to be very attentive. You know you're coming up close to a pedestrian cross, you start slowing down immediately, looking to see if there's any pedestrian on the side getting ready to cross. If there is, you stop on the line that is a certain distance before the crosswalk. Then you would see the pedestrian put their hands out, looking directly at you, indicating that they are going to cross. And only when you have come to a complete stop, that is when they will quickly and safely cross to the other side. And then you continue happily on your journey.
Stop, look, hand out, eye contact, wait for pedestrian to cross. Then you happily continue on your journey.
This message is brought to you by this group of insurance companies, the Traffic Advisory Body, and the Traffic Department.
Remember, if you have flu symptoms, do the right thing and stay at home to avoid giving it to others. Remember, you can be infectious up to a week after developing symptoms, so rest up and take it easy.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports.
Is it 25 minutes on to that 10 o'clock hour? Remember, 435-2041 will get you on the inside. It is an open line. It is to the point one day, and we have a caller on the line. Caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, go ahead, please.
I'm calling because a lot of people are making comments that are not correct or they ill-informed. For example, the person who just said about the small collar, they misunderstand what the collar previously was saying. If you cannot do the math and you try to include the percentage by a certain amount, people wouldn't buy. But my main point for calling simple here is to suggest to people, I would like some medical people to come on board, or two Grenadians, telling them that after 35 years of age, we only need a handful of food to survive per day, especially those people who are not physically working. Physically working, meaning like somebody go and sit in our office all day. They don't need to eat 3 and 4 meals a day. They need 35, after 35 years of age, about a handful of food a day, not for breakfast or lunch or dinner, per day. They need to drink 8 glasses of water or fluid or juice, whatever, but food, like chewing and going down in our guts, that will reduce the size of our people, and hence they will save money by, instead of eating 3 or 4 grain of fig one time, eat 1 grain per day, not 3 or 4 or 5. So if you want to buy, for example, chicken, you eat 1 piece of chicken per day. When you buy a little box of chicken for $6 or $7 or $8 a little bit, and you get 6 or 7 pieces, if you have a family of 3 or 4, that should feed everybody for the day. But people are buying those things and eating 4 and 5 pieces one time per day. And what that is doing, just creating a whole nation of big people. Big people, because they are eating too much. And everybody is making excuse about this and this and that and the other. The more you eat, the bigger you are, the more money you have to spend to get clothes. Now, the smaller you are, the less money you have to spend to buy clothes. And the same way, if you buy less food or less anything else, you pay less. So, for example, 2 or 3 people want to drive from St. George's to Grenville, and they're going with 3 cars. That's 3, 15, 3 by whatever. Go with 1 car. So then you don't have to spend $60, $70, $80, $90 to buy gas to put in your car. Just spend the $30 and 3 people go. Why can't we do that? And we're very small. Everybody wants to drive their own car to go Grenville. Everybody wants to do everything else. And all the small farmers, everybody wants to sell 1 grain of fig, 1 grain of banana, ripe banana for you for $1. This is nonsense. And we got to share our life with people. And it will make things much easier for us in Grenada. And when somebody make a comment which somebody don't understand, they shouldn't go criticizing it. So, for example, the guy who said about Grenlec, and Grenlec could do maths or some kind of a nonsense. Did he understand how much, for example, how much Grenlec had to put out? One with the staff, with their building, with everything else. And look at the percentage on the increase. Compare with him, who is small farmer, who don't have to put out any extra thing, maybe buy a little extra bit of feed or extra few cents on a bit of feed, and he want to then sell his yam or potato. Somebody sold me 1 little potato the other day for $6. I wouldn't go back and buy it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, caller, for that contribution. And I take the point on the health. I think the last couple of years especially, we were focusing so much on COVID, we probably didn't pay so much attention to the other areas of health. And I know the Food and Nutrition Council, they have been vocal, and as you rightly said, the food portions that we need to consume at the different stages of our lives. So it's probably a good thing. I'll invite them to come back again and just run through the charts with us, so we should be aware of the amount of foods we should be consuming. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning, to the point open line.
Good morning. I sit there and I admire that caller last Friday, the advice he gave. If we should take heed to these words of wisdom from many people, as however small they are, we will be a better nation and a better people. This is good advice. They better take heed. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Yes, and you hit the nail on the head, and it's why programs like these are important, to hear from our citizens and to hear from you, the callers and the viewers, because fantastic ideas. Every time I listen to this program, fantastic ideas, fantastic contributions come through from you, the people, and at the end of the day, I think it's for the benefit of all of us. So continue making your contributions. Of course, the number to get you on the inside is 435-2041. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning, to the point, you're live.
Yes, good morning, and have a good day. Listen, I want to ask you a question. Is there any price control officers in Grenada anymore?
I think they are, yes.
Well, the reason I ask you that is because you go in different shops, and all the prices are different for the same commodity, for the same thing. I don't understand what is happening. It's either they didn't have, or those that they have not doing their job.
Right. I understand price gouging is going on quite a bit. I'll verify. I'll do some research, because I know there are some guidelines we should be using for the price of different items, and there should be a body you can report it to if you see it continually happening. I'm thinking it may be a division of the Ministry of Finance, but I don't want to give you information I don't have, so I'll do some research and confirm.
Okay, and the next thing is that I could remember as a young boy growing up, they always see some new lists in the shops, right? Price control officers used to put out these lists. So you have all the prices of the different things in the shop. So when you go there as a customer now and they charge you could look and see if they're gouging the price or not. You understand?
Right.
But I don't see these things in shops anymore. I don't know.
Right. I guess we probably slipped a little bit there. And even some of the suppliers you buy from, they will tell you what is your price and what your resale price should be. But I know, like you say, some people are doing their own things these days. We would find out. I'll find out for you.
Okay. Have a pleasant day. Thanks.
You too. Thanks for the contribution. 435 folks, 435-2041 will get you on the inside. Just keep reminding you that Bryden & Minor's main office, distribution division, they'll be closed at 11:30 today. If you have to do business there, you have to do it early today. We're back on the phone lines. Good morning, to the point, open line.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
And God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless the whole of Grenada. According to the caller, if you used to buy 4 pounds of chicken, at least you could buy 2 pounds of chicken. If you used to cook 2 pounds of rice, you could afford to cook 1 pound of rice. And you have your diet, like a little cucumber, a slice of cucumber, lettuce, Christophine, salad pepper, and you drink a lot of fuel, that will cost you less containing your family, because they're only calling on government. But the government can't help them, because instead of the government helping them, they have to learn to cut down on the meals. And that will cost them less. So I don't mind if I buy a pound of potato for $7. With that potato I buy that pound, I'll try to cut that potato and use half. I'll try to use it at least 3 times a week, according to the size of potato. So So we have to learn to cut down on our meal, on our menu, and try to eat a balanced meal. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Paula. You guys are so spot on. At the end of the day, it's personal responsibility. This is not a government thing. Yes, they have a part to play, but personal responsibility. How we plan, how we organize, how we economize. Let's go back to the lines. Good morning. To the point, you're live.
Good morning, Janell.
Morning.
I'm calling with a serious concern.
Tell us.
Politicians are employed to ensure that the vulnerable are well taken care of. They don't do it, and when it's close to election, you notice a set of Facebook photos where they repair a house for an elderly and they stand up in front of the house with the elderly person as though it's the money coming out of their pocket. You see, they give a wheelchair. The wheelchair was donated from Grenadians abroad to give to people, but they're greening and pushing it with them. You see them modeling in the road where concrete is, and the people's house falling down by the concrete. It's time Grenadians learn to turn these people away from them. And these politicians need to stop using people's photo for their political stunts. Use the photo where they're maintaining their family, where they're handing the envelope month end to their family to say, look, I take my salary and I maintain my mother. Thank you very much.
Thank you, caller. 435-2041. It is open line Monday. Let's go back to the phone lines. To the point, good morning.
Good morning, Janell.
Good morning.
I have a problem. And I don't know if speaking on the television will help. About, let's say, more than a month ago, 27th of February to be exact, my fridge went bad. And I called a person who I knew. He did work for me on my stove. I asked him if he know about refrigerator. He said no. But he said to me he has a nephew who looks after fridge. He asked me, would you like me to bring him to you? I said yes. So he did come. This was on the 27th of February. He came with his nephew. They sat here. They pull out the fridge. The nephew sit down. I don't know what he is doing. After a time, he said to me he had to go to his house to look for a pot to come back, which he went. They came back. When they came back, again, he sat down behind the fridge. He said the motor was hot, and he want water to cool it. I gave him the water. He said what he brought cannot work because the motor is not good. In the presence of his uncle, I did not know the nephew, but the uncle is the one who introduced him to me. So he said to me, the motor of the refrigerator is not good and you will have to buy a new one. He said, Hubbard sell those motors and the cost of it is $600. Janell, in my house, I had some money here to buy a bottle of gas and to pay my electricity and other bills. In the presence of his uncle, I gave him $600 cash. He left, he and his uncle, and they went. This was Sunday. He promised to go to Hubbard's on Monday, and I will hear from him. The whole of Monday, I heard nothing. I called his uncle Tuesday. When I called him, the uncle said to me, he told me to tell you he didn't get the motor, but somebody offered him one to sell. But he gone in Carriacou in Carnival. And Janell, from that day to today, I haven't heard a word from the man with my $600. I am calling his uncle time and time again, and I am getting no good response. I went to the police. For me, the police for himself doesn't even seem to care. So I just don't know what to do. And I'm very distraught because I'm an old lady who have my little money inside here to do what I have to do. And a young man will come cheat me out of $600 cash, and I have nowhere or nobody to help me to retrieve my money. I think it is sad for senior citizens to be abused in this kind of a way. So I just want to say it on the television so people could understand what is happening. Thank you.
Caller, don't go yet. That is a police matter. I'm so sorry you have to be going through this. And as you said, it is a police matter.
Well, I went to the police.
No, we'll go back. We'll go back because this is a matter for the police. I understand you went. I don't know which division you went to. I don't know who
attended. It's Grenville. I am in St. Andrew. I went to the Grenville police station.
Okay. So call me back when the program is done. I don't want you to leave your number on it. Call me back when the program is done at 10 o'clock. And we're going to go again because it is a police matter. That is theft.
Okay.
We will deal with it. No.
Thank you.
We don't take advantage of our citizens like that at all. At all. We don't do it. We don't do it. We will deal with this matter. Good morning. Welcome to the Point.
You know, I heard that this... Oh, sorry. Let me load down this. You know, I heard this lady and I feel so hot inside.
Nah, I'm cut to the core. Yes, don't take advantage of people like that.
And this is the thing we get away with in this country time and time again. You go, you make a report. When you put confidence in them, they tell you this is the way they function for you in your areas of interest, and you don't get the answers. You have to beat up yourself. That's not good enough. They need to do better than that.
Yeah, I don't know which division took it. I don't know which officer took it, and I know sometimes things can slip through the crack, but we don't do that to our citizens, especially our senior citizens. We will get some results for her. We're going to follow up and we will get some results for that citizen who is hurting. I can hear the pain in her voice. And we're going to really get some... We're going to pursue this. Caller, good morning. Welcome to The Point with the final call of the program.
Hi, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. Good, thanks.
Okay. I have a burning concern. It does not happen to me, but it happens to a lot of people. You paying men to put on tiles for you. They saying yes, they could put on tiles, and before 1 year up, the tiles and them keep popping up in the veranda, in the kitchen. You know how much persons lost their money because of that? I think it should have something in place with people that keep losing their money from people that say they could put on tiles and they're not putting down the tiles and them good. Just think about the amount of money you have to pay to tile a house, the material you have to buy, and you still have to pay the person to put on the tile, and everything just goes to waste. You can't tell me some make excuse that maybe the house are getting enough air and all kind of thing, but what happened to the veranda? The veranda is an exposed place. I don't know if the government have to do something with persons that putting down tiles, if they have to get some license or something to show. But too many persons crying out with that problem, and this is a problem the government need to address. I don't know which department, but these have to be addressed. Too much persons suffering. Too many persons suffering. They crying out too much money being wasted putting down tile, and tile keep popping up and you have to redo the whole thing again because most times you don't get back the same tile. So you have to redo the whole thing. Something needs to be done. This is my concern this morning. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, caller. I feel you on a whole personal level because I actually thought maybe it was the grout. I don't know, because I had the same problem. They were just popping. And as you say, I did some research myself and they were saying, based on your area, it could be poor ventilation. But you rightly say, when you see the veranda tiles start popping as well, you realize it's not just a ventilation issue. So maybe we need a standards person. And again, the builders and so we need to make sure that they're qualified and are able to do the jobs that we are employing them for. We probably should start looking at, that agency, NTA, that certifies builders. And so maybe we should start insisting that they pass through the standards and make sure that their workmanship is up to par. But again, we have to leave it here, folks. It is 10 o'clock. Thank you so much to everybody who contributed. Some very, very valid contributions as per usual. Thank you so much for participating. It's Monday. It's a start of a brand new week. It's an exciting week. We have Interqual back after a 2-year hiatus. Is back on Thursday. I understand the competition is rife, and my partner not here this morning that is tell me bleeding green, probably in prep mode for Thursday. You'd actually see him tonight. He's having a very special Beyond the Headlines tonight, which will focus on intercalls and plans and preparations with the various stakeholders coming together to make sure it happens. It's the Republic Bank Intercall. It's actually the first time Republic Bank is on Intercall. They started preparations just before the pandemic, but you know what happened then. So their first year on the Intercall, and the program will be on tonight, Beyond the Headlines. Later on this month, I believe it is from the 16th of April, we have over a dozen, I think I made a note, over a dozen athletes, 13 members from Grenada, 13 young people are going to be participating and representing Grenada in Carifta 2022, which should be in Jamaica. Yes. So we have Intercall, we have Carifta coming up. It's an exciting season. I believe school should be closing on Friday coming. Yeah, so I know it's early, but you need to start making plans. I always encourage you early to start making plans once school closes to make sure your children have a program they could follow during the Easter vacation. But continue to be well, continue to be safe. Those of you enjoying the No Mask Day, enjoy it responsibly. Some of you, I would suggest keeping it on if you have respiratory concerns and so on. If for your own personal safety you feel better with it, it's an option. It's no longer mandatory. It's an option to wear the mask or to not wear the mask. But continue to be safe, continue to take care of yourselves, and have a fantastic week. Have a productive week until we see you again, God's willing. I'm Janell. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.